Do you live in a Spanish speaking country and you want to improve your Spanish and you want to get your body tight and right? Well, this is the video for you. I'm going to give you the rundown on how joining an exercise class or a sports group is going to help you get fit and all while practicing your Spanish. And here's how it works. When you join one of those classes or groups and the majority of the people, of the other participants in the group, are Spanish speakers, you're not going to be memorizing random words that you're going to find on an app. And you're not going to be studying verb charts and such that you would find in a grammar-based Spanish class. You're going to hear the language in context as it's actually used. And it's a fun and social atmosphere if you like exercise. Whether it's a Zen yoga class or a running group or a hiking group, you're going to be having fun while you're practicing the language instead of sitting there and stressing over grammar. No drills, no rote memorization, just natural, organic learning in context. I have a student who loves golf and he joined a local golf group. I'm pretty sure that he was nervous at first playing with local Spanish speakers. But now he's learning everyday Spanish, making connections, and learning the language in context in a very relaxed, enjoyable environment. So where do you start? Step one, find an activity that you love or an activity that you've always wanted to try. If it's something that you enjoy, you'll keep showing up for that practice even when the Spanish breaks your brain. Step number two, now that you've found an activity that you think you want to do, now it's time to find a Spanish speaking group that's doing it. So the first one's obvious. Go to your local gym. But make sure you're going to a gym where there are a lot of Spanish speakers and not where all the expats or immigrants go. You want to make sure that your class or your exercise group, that the majority of the participants are Spanish speakers. Ask if they have the activity that you really want to do. And if they don't, ask them where they can find a class like that in your area. You could also go to parks and recreation centers or community centers in your area. Sometimes the parks have outdoor classes or they'll have classes in a recreation center. Ask around, ask some of the people that you see in the park. Maybe they're doing a different kind of sport or exercise class, but they might have an idea of where they can find the activity that you enjoy. Also, check the bulletin board. Sometimes they have advertisements for local classes or clubs that are not offered in the park. And of course, word of mouth is golden. Ask your neighbors or other Spanish speakers in the community that you might know if they know of classes that you might be interested in. This is one of the best ways to find these kinds of groups. And the Facebook groups are golden too. But when you do your search on Facebook, make sure you do the search in Spanish. You want to do the search how a Spanish speaking local would do the search. So you would put the activity and then the name of your neighborhood, or your city, or your town. So for example, clase de Zumba, El Poblado, Medellín, and see what comes up. You want to make sure that you do your search in Spanish because you want to go to the classes where the Spanish speakers are going so you can practice your Spanish. And once you find your group or your class, make it worth it. Don't be a wallflower. Don't stand in the corner. You can start with a simple greeting and don't overthink it. It can be as simple as, Hola, ¿cómo está? A simple greeting goes a long way. And then when you start to feel more comfortable in your class, you can ask a question. And don't be shy about asking questions, even if you feel like your Spanish isn't perfect. You can start with something simple like, ¿Qué es esto? Or ¿Qué es esto? Holding up a tennis ball. Most people will appreciate the effort of you trying to speak the language and they'll try to help you out. The idea here is progress and not perfection. You want to practice. That's your objective. Focus on having fun and not being perfect with your Spanish. Nobody is expecting you to have Cervantes level Spanish. This is not a language class and it's not a language test. It's a social exercise group. It's a fun class. You're there to enjoy yourself, get fit, make connections with locals, and get more exposure to the language organically. The more you focus on the physical activity and not the language, the more the language will start to flow more naturally. So instead of worrying about every single word in a sentence has to be perfect and accurate and correct, focus on having fun. Relax. Over time, the words will flow more easily and you'll start to understand people without doing all the busy translating in your head. And that is all. Are you already doing some kind of fun exercise or sports activity in your community? I want to hear about it in the comments below. And please like and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like some ideas on more modern ways on how to improve your Spanish, check out my free ebook in the description below. Hasta luego!